Emeka were more like brothers than friends. Born into the harsh realities of Nkanu, a small Igbo village where poverty reigned supreme, they had grown up sharing everything: meals, clothes, and dreams. But dreams don't fill empty stomachs, and reality kept dragging them back to the dusty streets they called home. One fateful afternoon, while scavenging for scrap metal near a bush path, they stumbled upon an old, weathered duffel bag hidden under a pile of dry leaves. "What's this?" Emeka asked, pulling it out with difficulty. Uche, curious, ripped it open. Their jaws dropped. Bundles of crisp dollar bills filled the bag. The sheer volume made their heads spin. "Chineek! This is a miracle!" Uche shouted, his hands trembling as he grabbed a bundle. "Who keeps this kind of money here?" Emeka wondered, his cautious nature kicking in. "We need to think, Uche. This could be drug money or stolen funds." "Think what?" Uche retorted, a grin spreading across his face. "God has blessed us. Stop questioning it." Despite Emeka's unease, they dragged the bag to Uche's shack. After locking the door, they counted it meticulously: $2 million. The numbers didn't just dazzle Uche, they blinded him. He had never seen so much money in his life, and the possibilities it represented intoxicated him. At first, the friends agreed to split the money evenly, but cracks appeared almost immediately. Uche, older and more ambitious, began dropping subtle hints. "Emeka, think about it. I'm the one who found the bag. It was my idea to open it. Maybe I should get a larger share." Emeka stiffened. "We found it together. What's all this talk about larger shares? Don't be selfish, Emeka. I have plans for this money, big plans. I want to build a house, start a business. I'm thinking long-term. And I'm thinking survival." Emeka shot back. "We agreed, Uche. 50-50. Let's stick to that." The argument escalated, and though they eventually decided to wait a few days before dividing the money, distrust had already crept into their friendship. Emeka, knowing Uche's greed, began plotting. On the third night, he crept into Uche's shack, where the money was hidden under the bed. With his heart pounding, he stuffed the duffel bag into his backpack and fled, planning to catch the first bus to Lagos. But Uche was one step ahead. When he discovered the bag missing the next morning, he knew who had taken it. Blind with rage, he called some local thugs and promised them a cut if they retrieved the money. Hours later, as Emeka walked home from a viewing center, his favorite pastime, two hooded men confronted him. He clutched his small bag tightly, trying to talk his way out, but one of the thugs, jittery and inexperienced, fired his gun. The bullet tore through Emeka's chest. Emeka fell to the ground, his life slipping away as his blood seeped into the dusty road. The thugs fled, leaving the bag untouched. By the time the villagers gathered, Emeka was gone. Rumors spread like wildfire. Some claimed Emeka's death was an accident, but many suspected Uche. Why wouldn't they? The two had been quarreling about money, and Uche's newfound wealth raised eyebrows. At first, Uche dismissed the whispers, focusing on his money. He planned to leave the village soon, to start fresh. But just a week after Emeka's burial, strange things began happening. One night, as Uche lay in bed counting his money, he heard faint footsteps outside his door. Grabbing a machete, he flung the door open, but no one was there. Returning inside, he froze. The duffel bag lay open, its contents scattered. "Who did this?" he muttered, his voice shaking. Then came the laugh, a low, chilling chuckle that echoed through the room. Uche spun around, but the room was empty. Where is my share? A voice whispered, barely audible. Uche bolted, running to a neighbor's house. But that night was only the beginning. Emeka's ghost began to torment Uche in earnest. He appeared in mirrors, his once cheerful face now twisted with anger. At night, the sound of his voice would echo, "Where is my share?" One evening, Uche returned home to find blood smeared on his walls, spelling out, "Thief." His belongings were thrown around the room, though no one had entered. Unable to bear it, Uche turned to a local witch doctor. The old man, known for his spiritual prowess, listened as Uche confessed everything. "You have invited a restless spirit into your life," the witch doctor said. "You must make peace with him, or he will never leave." "How do I do that?" Uche asked, desperate. "Give him what is his. Cleanse yourself with confession." But Uche refused. He wasn't about to give up his fortune, not after everything he had done to secure it. The torment worsened. Emeka's ghost became bolder, appearing in broad daylight. He would stand at the foot of Uche's bed, staring with lifeless eyes. He would pull Uche's sheets off at night, whispering, "You can't escape me." Villagers began to notice Uche's erratic behavior. He muttered to himself, avoided people, and rarely left his home. He began sleeping with the lights on, but even that offered no respite. One night, Uche tried to burn the duffel bag, hoping to rid himself of the curse. But as the flames licked at the money, Emeka's ghost appeared, screaming, "You think this will stop me?" The fire died instantly, leaving the money untouched. Driven to the brink of madness, Uche decided to flee the village. He packed the duffel bag and boarded a night bus to Enugu, hoping that distance would free him from Emeka's ghost. But even on the bus, the haunting continued. As the vehicle sped down the highway, Uche dozed off. In his dreams, or was it reality, he heard Emeka's voice again, "You can't run from me, Uche. You carry me wherever you go." He jolted awake, sweat streaming down his face. The passengers around him stared as he muttered incoherently. Worse, when the bus arrived in Enugu, the driver found Uche's seat soaked with blood, but there wasn't a single scratch on him. The other passengers whispered among themselves, convinced he was cursed. Terrified, Uche abandoned the bus and checked into a cheap motel. He tried to sleep, but the moment he closed his eyes, the ghost appeared, standing at the foot of his bed. "Give me my share, Uche," Emeka said, his hollow voice filling the room. Uche screamed, throwing the lamp at the apparition. The lamp shattered against the wall, and when he turned back, Emeka was gone. But the whisper lingered, "You will pay." Determined to end the torment, Uche returned to the witch doctor. This time, he begged the old man for a stronger solution. "I will do anything," Uche pleaded. "Just make him leave me alone." The witch doctor prepared a ritual to bind Emeka's spirit. It involved a clay pot, a rooster, and a vial of Uche's blood. That night, they performed the ceremony in the forest under the light of a full moon. As the witch doctor chanted, the air grew cold. Shadows danced around them, and Uche felt a weight pressing on his chest. Suddenly, the clay pot shattered, and the fire they had lit extinguished itself. The witch doctor gasped. "He's too strong. His anger cannot be chained. You must return what is his." Uche fell to his knees. "But I can't. The money is mine now." "Then prepare yourself," the witch doctor said grimly. "This spirit will not rest until he has taken everything from you." The haunting escalated. Villagers began to notice strange occurrences around Uche's house. Windows shattered without cause, eerie wails echoed at night, and animals avoided the area entirely. Some swore they saw Emeka's ghost standing in the doorway, watching with lifeless eyes. One evening, Uche's neighbor, Mama Ijeoma, stopped by to deliver food. She found Uche sitting in the dark, his face gaunt and his eyes bloodshot. "Uche, you look terrible." "What's going on?" she asked, her voice trembling. "They're coming for me," Uche muttered, his gaze fixed on something unseen. "Who is coming?" But Uche didn't answer. Instead, he stood abruptly, walked to the door, and bolted it shut. Mama Ijeoma fled, convinced the man had lost his mind. Rumors spread further. Some villagers believed Uche had killed Emeka over money. Others thought he had summoned a dark spirit through greed. Whatever the truth, one thing was clear: Uche was cursed. The ground beneath Uche trembled, and he fell to his knees. He begged for forgiveness, promising to do whatever it took to make things right. "Prove it," Emeka whispered before vanishing into the darkness. The next day, Uche decided to follow the witch doctor's advice. He took the duffel bag and marched to the center of the village. With trembling hands, he confessed everything: the money, the quarrel, and the events leading to Emeka's death. The villagers were horrified. Some demanded justice, while others whispered that the curse had already claimed Uche's sanity. But before anyone could decide his fate, a violent storm swept through the village. Thunder roared and lightning struck dangerously close, sending everyone running for cover. Alone in the storm, Uche stood clutching the bag. "Take it, Emeka. Take it and leave me alone." As he threw the bag into the raging winds, a shadowy figure appeared, Emeka's ghost. He reached for the bag, his eyes locking onto Uche's. "This isn't over," Emeka said, his voice carrying over the storm. "You'll never find peace." With that, the ghost and the bag vanished into thin air. After the storm, Uche returned to his house, shaken but relieved. The duffel bag and the ghost seemed to have disappeared. For the first time in weeks, he managed to sleep.